All right, guys, good afternoon. I tell you, it's a pleasure to introduce Coach Reeves here as the new head football coach for William Blount. I've known Coach Reeves personally since 1999, and he's a man of high energy. You guys know that. But more importantly, he's a man of high character, and that's important. You know, he's going to help instill that in our players and in our school. In all of our interviews, we talked to all the candidates in particular about three things. We talked with them about discipline, talked about the weight room, getting things taken care of, and we talked about the feeder program as well. Coach Reeves has a plan for each of those things. He knows our school. He's an awesome teacher. He knows our community. I'm excited to have him as the next football coach for William Blount. Again, he loves kids, and he's high character, and that's why I want him here as a head football coach for William Blount High School. So at this time, let me turn it over to our athletic director, Scott Cupp.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you coming out. I've typed up a little bit something here for Coach Reeves, and welcome to everyone. First of all, I do want to be remiss if I didn't thank Coach Shadowins again for the time he spent here for us at William Blount High School. 7 years. Come on in, guys. 7 years he spent his time here, and of course he's still here now, but that's the second longest tenure of anyone in William Blount High School football history. So I want to thank him for all of his time here and providing some stability to the school, and obviously wish him well if he stays here or moves on to another particular job. So thanks to Coach Shadowins for his years that he put in here. In the last 2 weeks, we've received several applications, several resumes from all over the country for the head football job. We looked through them and formally interviewed a total of 6 applicants, and we had some high-quality resumes with some outstanding options. But for Mr. Clark, myself, and Mr. Snarley, it boiled down to the following. We wanted to hire somebody from the outside who's kind of unfamiliar with the school and our circumstances, or do we want to stay here in-house with someone who is 100% aware of what they're getting into, who knows the kids, knows the faculty, knows everything that needs to be known here at the school. Our choice was coaching here in the late 1990s. Some people don't know that. Under Coach Fickert, Coach McMahon, Coach Reed, and Coach Phelps. In those years, William Blount High School was very successful, including a 9-win season, also made it to the playoffs all those years as well, except maybe one. So he was here during the times when William Blount High School was very, very solid on the football field. He then went to Georgia and coached some more under Coach John Reed, and they had a lot of success there as well. Some other issues forced him back into Knoxville and became the head coach from Carnes for about 4 or 5 years in the late 2000s. The last 10 years before this year, he went to Heritage, where he was an assistant principal, also assistant football coach. And then he came back to William Blount this year because he wanted to get back in the classroom and be around students and kids. He's seen highs and lows at both schools over the course of the last 20 years. He has extreme passion, energy, and emotion. He's a phenomenal teacher. His peers love him. His students love him. The outpouring of support I've received from the community over the last 2 weeks for Coach Reeves has been impressive. And no, he didn't have any state championship rings on his hand or thousands of wins as a head coach, but he's got everything else. And he's going to give everything he has into this program. And he has the support of this school as well. And I say this, if you can't root for Coach Robert Reeves, then who can you root for? Period. With that said, I now introduce to you the 12th head coach of William Blount High School, former assistant coach Robert Reeves. Now, if anybody saw Coach Quarles' interview or his acceptance for ETSU, he needs some of these Kleenexes right here. So,
oh my goodness, he knows me well. He knows me well. I'm glad you got this right, because I'm probably gonna move around a little bit. Wow. Hate to start off crying. Yeah. Whew. So as soon as I have a speech, 7 pages, by the way, guys. Not to bore you. No, it's just 1 page. But
I walked in here, and as soon as I walked in here, guys, I saw my wife and my daughter. I saw Jimmy Long. I saw Jeremy Snarley, who played for me, and Mike Brewer, who coached with me. Good friends for years. I looked over there and I saw Colton Reed, who played football with me, and is here today. And I coached with his father, and then he's here for me today. And I looked and I see one of my best friends in the world, Coach Winry, who was an assistant coach for me when I was at Carnes High School, and probably one of the most loyal friends I've ever had. And then I also look over here and I see Mr. Clark and Mr. Cupp, who I've known for years and have worked alongside. And so when I stepped over here, I was kind of full of emotion. And then it really came home, and I looked over and I saw my parents, who are my biggest cheerleaders and who've always been there to support me. And I'll talk more about that later as we go on. But let me say this. The very first thing I got to do is take a big breath and breathe and relax, because I am so excited to be here with you guys. It's been a dream of mine to be at this school for many years. You guys don't know my story. I don't want to bore you with it, but you know, I believe that God works in mysterious ways. And 15, 20 years ago, I applied for this job, and I did not get this job. I was heartbroken. I literally went home and cried. I was at the time, 20-some-year-old man, and I had to go home and just be by myself, because I was like, wow, I wanted this job that bad. And the Lord has a way of working things out, guys. And I don't know, maybe he knew I wasn't ready at that time. Maybe he knew I was coaching for the wrong reasons at that time. And he sent me on a different journey, and along that journey, I was able to learn a lot of things from some really awesome men. And I say this, I don't know how many guys have had the opportunity to work with 5 coaches that have won state championships. Some people don't get to work with a coach that wins one. I've worked with 5 that won multiple state championships. And from each one of those men, I've learned a lot of amazing things. I've learned some things not to do, but I've learned really more things to do. And so I say that, guys, because when I was at Carnes, that job didn't end exactly the way I wanted it to, and it just so happened that the good Lord had another plan for me. He said, it's time for you to be a dad and a father, and that's when my daughter came into my life. My greatest gift. And in this job, I was in the classroom, being a principal last year, and I was like, man, I am just miserable. I said, this is not for me. I want to be around kids again. And I prayed, and I talked to my wife, and I said, hey, I want to go back to the classroom. And my wife said, hey, I support whatever you do. If you want to go back to the classroom, I understand. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it. And so Mr. Clark and Mr. Snodderly kind of knew where I was professionally, and they said, hey, listen, we're probably going to have something over here. We'd love to have you join us. Now, when I came over here, guys, I did not intend to apply for the head coaching job at this school. I came over here, number one, because I wanted to be back in the classroom, and really, truthfully, because one of my best friends in the world was here. And I said, you know what, this is a good situation. I get to go back to the classroom. I get to go back to where I started my career. I love William Blount. I've always loved William Blount. And I get to work with one of my best friends. So this is kind of a no-brainer, right? It's like sometimes life throws you a no-brainer. Well, it just so happens, the way things work, you know, Coach Owens was kind enough to let me become part of this staff, and you know, we went through this year, and we had some up and downs this year, and it was emotional for us, and we didn't do as well as we wanted. But at the end of the year, you know, Coach Owens decided that he wanted to go a different direction, and that now presented an opportunity. It was one I prayed about and I thought about. And truthfully, guys, I didn't know 100% if I was going to apply for this, but let me say this. I had friends, family, students, co-workers, staff members, and coaches come up to me and say, hey, you are applying for this job, right? You are applying for this job. I was like, well, you know, I've prayed about it, and I want to. I said, but I'll be honest with you guys, I was a little hesitant. And not because I don't want to be with you, I just didn't know if my heart could break again, because I didn't get it, guys. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm going to be honest, because it was hard for me. I wanted to be here. I just wanted to be a part of this program, and it meant so much to me. And so none of that's on my speech. That's just coming from the heart, okay? And I think sometimes, guys, as an adult, we got to speak to our kids from the heart. We have to be honest. You have to see me for who I am. I am who I am, and I'm never going to apologize for that. I'm passionate. I'm energetic. I love kids. I want to be in the football field. I want to coach till I'm dead. You know, I mean, honestly, I just want to fall over and just wheel me off the field. It's like, oh, there goes Reeves. He's dead. And then the next guy goes, hey, we're going to have to get this, the next coach is in. Let's go, get this guy. They're going to carry me off like they do in soccer. Just carry me off, right? So that's really kind of how I want to go, right? But this day has come, guys, and I am so excited to share this day with all of you, my many friends, my staff members, my players, my coaches. And I've prayed about this for a long time, and I've just always said, and I found a quote yesterday, and I shared it on Twitter, and you guys saw it. I didn't get anything done yesterday, just so you know. I think my Twitter went off 775 times. Thank you. Some of you guys did it 5 times in a row, so I appreciate some of you guys. All right? But I said this quote. It says, don't put limits on yourself. Not every dream will come true, and not every dream is from God. But when your dreams connect with God's plans, you'll find open doors that you never thought you'd see. So I didn't think I'd ever see this, but obviously God had a big plan for me. And one thing I always tell my kids, and I'm gonna tell you now, I don't got to coach. I don't got to coach you guys. I get to coach you guys, right? And we're gonna do this together, okay? We're gonna do this together. It's not about me, it's about us. And we're gonna do some things that are probably different. I'm gonna ask us to be unselfish. I'm gonna do some things we haven't done before. But you guys, let me tell you this. You don't win football games with X's and O's. I need to make sure you all understand that right now. It has nothing to do with X's and O's. It never did, it never will. The only thing football is about is really, do you love your brother? Are you gonna get in a foxhole of that dude and man up? That's what it's about. Do you have a passion for hitting people? Legally, don't do that in school, you know. I don't want y'all to get in trouble. Do you embrace the game? It's a tough game. It's a violent game. It's a game that will teach you some amazing lessons. Because one day, your wife or your mother or someone you love is going to get cancer, or you might get cancer, and you're going to get knocked on your freaking belly like I did one time in high school, many times in high school. And I could hear my dad in the stands. Get up! Got a way to hit somebody! And here he is today. He has barely missed any football games in my entire life. Still supporting me to this day. But you gotta love your brother, you gotta embrace it. Right? And these are things you'll take in life, because life's gonna hit you right in the mouth sometimes, guys, and you're gonna have to go, you know what? I can take it. And like I was telling Mr. Clark and the rest of these guys when we were interviewed, I said, listen, I've been through the heat, baby. I've been through the heat. I've been through a lot of losing seasons, and I've been through a lot of winning seasons. So a lot of people go say things like, well, you've been in a lot of losing seasons. What is that? Does that mean you're a loser? That doesn't mean you're a loser. You know what mean you're a loser? A loser is when you don't try. That's what a loser does. A loser doesn't try. A loser doesn't love his teammates. A loser doesn't get back up and work hard. That's what a loser does. Okay, I've never given up on any team I've ever coached. Not one time. I never will. As long as I'm coaching, I'll never give up on anybody. And I'll say this, to go into that, not only am I not going to give up on you, but I'm going to work my tail feathers off for you every day. And I'm going to find some guys who want to do it with me. Because this is a game that requires a lot of time and energy. So I wanted you guys to know that. Don't put limits on yourself. Make sure your dreams work with God's plans, and they do. Also, guys, I told the committee that I started my career here, and this is where I want to end it. And I want that little girl right there to be a cheerleader on this team. Listen to me. When we're playing in a state championship game, and it may not be next year, and it may not be the year after that, but guys, I don't want anybody to ever tell you this school sucked in football, because it didn't. And I've heard people say that, and it's not true. I came into a program that was 0-10, and we ended up being 8-2, and quite frankly, I remember a year we probably would have played for the state championship if we hadn't lost our quarterback. That's how good he was, and that's how good our team was. That's also the same kid that broke his collarbone and put himself back in the game because he loved his teammates that much. Now, I don't suggest you do that, right? And quite frankly, none of us knew he had a broken shoulder bone, but that's the kind of kid he was. He loved his teammates that much. And who's to say, guys, if people say we can't get to a state championship game, then their dream's not big enough. Why are we any different than anybody else? Can we work as hard as Maryville in the weight room? We work harder in Maryville. Right? Do you agree with that? Can we work as hard in the classroom? We can work harder. Right? Those are the things that are going to make a difference. It's not the X's and O's, guys. Those are way overrated. Way overrated. Okay? It's about the fundamentals and love for your teammate. So I want to spread the love by saying this real quick. I want to thank Mr. Clark. I want to thank Mr. Snarley. I want to thank Scott Cupp. I want to thank Ashley Ivins. I want to thank Chris Merritt. I want to thank Lisa Collins. I want to thank my friends that are here. I want to thank all the faculty, the coaches, the players, the parents that have showed their support through the years. I want to thank my coaches, even though they probably don't see it. I want to thank Earl McMahon. I'm going to thank them all. Steve Fickert. I'm going to thank every coach ever worked. Ronnie Phelps, Scott Meadows, Philip Shadowans, Tim Hammontree, John Reed. I'm going to thank all those guys because they've made me the man I am today, and they've helped me be the coach I am today. And all my fellow assistant coaches I've ever worked with. I love every one of you, and I've learned something from all of you, so I want to thank you. I also want to thank my mom and dad and my sister for instilling in me a passion for others and kindness for others and support throughout my entire life. I know none of this could have happened without my beautiful family, my wife Kim and my sweet daughter Ansley, who basically every day lift me up, give me energy, and support me. And that's what you need. That's the best thing about looking at your daughter, is seeing that beautiful smile and knowing that your wife's got your back. There's no greater feeling, guys, and the Bible says that directly. That's the crown in that is the jewel in your crown, my friends. When you find a godly woman, never mistake that. They've always given me encouragement, and they've always supported my dreams. I also want to say, guys, I couldn't have done this without, obviously, my Heavenly Father, who has given me the energy, knowledge, and the ability to help others and to teach others. So that's a big deal for me. And I know that none of that's possible without my Heavenly Father. So I want to say thank you to all those people. I couldn't be here without you. So a couple things. Let's talk about this. Why am I here? Okay, we'll start with the very first one. Because I want to be. I want to be. A lot of people would run from 1 and 9. Not me. I'm ready for 1 and 9. I'm ready to turn that mug around. Right? I'm ready to change some things up. Okay? Our school, our family, and our community. They want it. I want it. You want it. And that's why I want to be here. Because this is a great place. Okay? It's a great school with great people. And there's been a lot of success here. All you got to do is look at our basketball team. They're doing it upright right now, and I want to get our football team to do it upright. Okay? I look forward to challenges. I don't run from challenges. If I ran from challenges, why would I have gone to Heritage High School? Why would I have taken a head coaching job at Carnes High School if I ran from challenges? Right? I don't run from challenges. Okay? I look forward to restoring this school back to the playoff contender it used to be. Is it going to happen overnight? I don't know. It might. Depends how hard we want to work and if we get a little luck on our side, and whoever knows, right, guys? But I don't talk about wins and losses because I think that's a mistake. I talk about the things that lead to wins and losses, like doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom, making sure you show up on time, make sure you say yes sir, no sir, make sure you stay away from drugs and alcohol, make sure you don't give teachers a hard time in class, making sure you get to the weight room on time, making sure you wear the same exact outfit as everybody, making sure you get on the bus looking like a team, making sure you wear a tie and a white shirt on a Thursday. These are the things that make teams. And if you ever, I know you guys watch Alabama. I know you watch these teams, right? I know you watch those teams. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. It's not the big things, it's the little things. So we're going to focus on that. And then if we focus on the little things, the big things are going to take care of themselves. Okay? One of the things I really believe in is loving your teammate. Right? Loving your teammate. I shared a story of this with these guys. When I was a senior in high school, at my high school, we weren't very good. And our school didn't win a lot of games, but my senior year, our new coach took over, and I think we're 5-5 that year, which was a big improvement because the year before that we're 0-10. And that coach did something I still remember to this day. He had a senior. Every senior took their cleats and they gave it to a junior. And they said, I'm leaving you this. This is my legacy. And it just so happened that the person who left me my cleats was a man named Anthony Raleigh. He was about a 6'5", 215-pound quarterback and safety. He ended up playing Division I football, and it meant the world to me that somebody like him would give me those cleats. And I couldn't wear his cleats. They were size 12. And I was a size 9, so they just kind of sat in my locker, and I just looked at them like a golden shrine, right? But it meant the world to me. That's love, man. That's teammate love. You gotta share it, okay? The other thing is, guys, that I bring is I really like being around you guys. I mean, I love being around young people. I love being around young women and men every day. It gives me energy, and I love to see you guys grow as human beings. Because, gosh, guys, let's think about the world we live in right now. I don't want to look at the world in a negative way. I look at the world in a positive way. I look at a lot of things I see in front of me. I see a lot of changes, right? I know we got some problems in this country, but we also got kids who love each other probably more than your great-grandparents did. A lot of us don't see color anymore. We don't see poverty anymore. We see people in front of us. We see people we want to love. That's why I love football. A guy can be right next to me who's black, a Muslim. It doesn't matter what he is. I just know that dude's got my back. That's what I know. I know that dude's got my back. That's what matters. So here's what I'm going to offer you guys. I told you why I'm here, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to offer you guys. And I'm not going to tell you things I can't offer you. I can't give you $1 million. I don't have any NIL deals, and I don't have any McDonald's paper bags or anything like that. Right? None of that goes on in high school. There's no NIL here. But here's what I'll tell you. You're going to get passion. You're going to get passion for teaching and coaching. You're going to get energy. You're going to get accountability. I'm going to hold you accountable. Okay? And when you're not, there will be a consequence. But that's because I love you, and I want this team to be successful. It's not because I'm trying to be a bully. That's not why I do. That's not why we have discipline. The root word of discipline is disciple. I think you know where that comes from. Sometimes Jesus had to jump his friends. Right? He had to let them know sometimes they weren't thinking right. Right? And he had to get their attention. So, sometimes we have to be told we're doing things wrong. So we're going to do that. We're going to work well with others, because if you can't work well with others, you can't help this football team. Okay? You've got to rely. A senior has to rely on a freshman. Right? So you have to pick your teammate up. You have to encourage them. You don't belittle a teammate. What good does it do to belittle a teammate? Right? People used to belittle me when I was younger. See how it turned out for them? I didn't mind to hit somebody. My dad will tell you that. I got it from him. I'd knock you silly. I didn't care. That's why I like the game of football. I enjoy it. I embraced it. Okay? So what's our mission going to be, guys? Listen, our mission is going to be really simple. And we're going to look at it every day, and we're going to talk about it every day. And this is it. We're going to put a team on the field that excels on the field, achieves in the classroom. Okay? Now think about that. We're going to excel on the field. Okay, we are going to achieve in the classroom, and then we're going to look for ways to positively impact our community. What I mean by that is this. You don't know this yet, but I've been working on it, and it's going to be part of our program, is we're going to have the uncommon principle, and we're going to have a score sheet, and I'm going to grade you guys on the things you're doing for this program outside of playing. Right? And some of those things are, guess what, February 4th, and even tonight, we're playing Hardin Valley and Maryville. One of those things is, guys, those basketball players, they're bleeding for us, and quite frankly, I want some of them to play for me. And I think the best way you do that is to show some love and support. So I think we show up in mass and we cheer on our team. We cheer on our team because number one, it's the right thing to do. But number two, I'm gonna hold you accountable for that. I'm gonna break you into teams, and you're gonna get your lockers and the equipment based on how high you score, not because you played last year. If you're the best player on this team and you have a low score, guess what? You ain't getting the helmet you thought you were going to get. You're going to get what's left over because you didn't buy into what we're trying to do here. Right? So that's part of where we're going. We're going to depend on everybody to show up and do things. Like I might say, guess what, guys? This Friday, we need to come on down and we need to clean this field up. I have a lot of faith in you guys. Look how hard we worked together, guys, to clean up that office the other day, didn't we? And we still got more to do because we ran out of time. We had a couple snow days and sick days, but look how much we got done as a unit. We cleaned that whole coaching office out except for 4 things. And look at your locker room. If you haven't been down, look at it. It's clean. It's a place you can take a little pride in. Let me tell you, we're going to take a whole lot of pride in our next place we go to. Because we're going to spend some money and put a weight room in there that means something. And we're going to have nice lockers. And we're going to have signs. And we're going to love that place. And it's going to be something we can be proud of. Right? So we're going to impact this community. We're going to look for ways to go to the elementary schools. We're going to look for ways to go to elementary schools and read to kids. Open up doors. We're going to look for ways to help teachers in the school by writing teachers who are discouraged and who had a rough week. Because some of these teachers, guys, they come to school every day and they bust their tail. And what you don't know is what's going on in their home. Just like they don't know what's going on in your home. You have teachers who just lost their mother-in-laws to COVID or moms to COVID. You've got a coach who's got a mother-in-law who is barely hanging on right now. And a wife who goes to see her mom every day. You don't know what somebody's going through. You have to lift up your teammates. You have to love your teammates. You'll win as many games as you want when you start doing that. I promise you. Pick a number. And in order to do this, guys, we have to have a vision. And what's that vision going to be? That vision is this. And I want you guys to memorize this. And this, to me, is one of the biggest things I want you guys to focus on. When teams think about William Blount, when I used to coach here, and I know I could go out to some people right here, I could ask people randomly. I could ask Mr. Snarley what people thought of. He could probably tell you. Matter of fact, I'm going to put him on the spot. When people played football against William Blount, Mr. Snarley, what did they know they were about to get into? A fight. Not unsportsmanlike conduct. A fight. With kids that could do what, Colton Reed? 4 quarters. That could lift weights like business. I wish Coach Garner was here. That kid used to power clean 295 pounds, 5'8", on this team right here, running back. You want to hit a running back that power cleans 285 pounds? That's what happens when you get in the weight room, right? It's not a lot of fun for the guy to hit you. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. We want to be known for a few things, and here's what number one. Number one, we want to be known for class. Everything we do, right? When people see us, they're going to go, that's a classy group of kids right there. Look at those kids get off the bus. When we played Westridge, the very first thing I thought of when I saw Westridge is, look at those kids get off the bus. Holy crap. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have a really good feeling about that game. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys right now. I did not have a very good feeling about that game. Matter of fact, one of our young coaches looked at me and said, Coach, what do you think? I said, well, I'll tell you what I think. You want my honest opinion? I've done this for 26 years, and when a team gets off the bus looking like that, you might have a little bit of a problem. I'm talking about organized, looking the same, pregame, everything, mapped out, organized, class. Guys, I don't know if you know, people dress in our middle school locker room, right? That's going to change next year, okay? But they dress in our middle school locker room. When I walked in that middle school locker room, guys, I saw kids sweeping the lockers, and they had a portable vacuum, vacuuming out our locker room. I want you to think about that for a second. The coach just drove here 2.5 hours away, and they're vacuuming out our lockers. By the way, you know what that team, how many games they won this year, right? First year ever? It's the first year ever. It's the first time they've ever had a football team, 8-2. Interesting how that works, doesn't it? We're going to be known for class. Okay, we're going to be known for class. So when people see us, they're going to say, hey, that group right there, that's a classy group of kids, man. That's a classy group of kids, and we're going to do that, okay? Next thing, discipline. We're going to be known for discipline, okay? Listen, personal fouls, I get it, man. You're out there busting your tail. My man Dibler, I love Dibler, man. My man's out there holding like a Jesse. You know why he's holding? Because he loves you, and he needs to get in the weight room more. Him and I have already talked about it. He's holding because he wants to be successful and he wants his team to win. He does not want the quarterback to land up on his back. So he's doing everything he can to save the quarterback, right? It's our job to help get him stronger so he doesn't have to do that, right? But a personal foul, you grab a face mask by guys, that's part of football. But an unsportsmanlike conduct because you tell a coach or you tell a referee or you tell somebody what you don't like about a call, listen, you do that while I'm the head coach, you ain't gonna play. You're coming out and you're coming out fast. I don't care if you're the starting quarterback all the way down to the starting left tackle. It does not matter. You will not play in that game until me and you have a heart-to-heart about what's important in the world. So class and discipline. Everybody understand that? We're not tolerating that. Okay? And the last thing is toughness. We got to get tough. We're not tough. We're not even close to being tough. All right? How do you build toughness? You build toughness by tying yourself to a load and pushing yourself harder than you ever can. You want to know how tough you are? Don't do a bench press test where you bench press 135 pounds 6 times. You know what you do? Or a squat test where you do 225 5 times. You know what you do? You put 500 pounds on your back and you do it 1 time. That's toughness. There's not a lot of guys I know want to put 500. No, nobody I know puts 5,000 pounds on their back. But I don't know how many people put 500 pounds on their back and get full parallel. Because you know what? It don't feel good. It doesn't feel good, but I know this. You put 500 pounds on your back and you do a full squat, you're going to knock somebody off the line of scrimmage, my friend. And they're going to be thinking, holy crap, what have I gotten myself into? Right? So when you go to that weight room, you go with a purpose. When you go in that weight room, you go to break records. You don't go in there to lollygag around and stand around and watch your friends lift weights. If you're standing, you're wrong. You better get down and do some push-ups or sit-ups or do some split squats. Guys, standing there ain't gonna make us better, right? We're gonna do this. We're gonna get class, discipline, toughness. We're gonna talk about it all the time. Was that classy? Was that a classy move? No, sir. All right. What are we about here? Class. Okay. Hey, man, your fingers hurt a little bit. I get it. Look at these fingers. Look how crooked those fingers are. You think that's because I just stuck them in a light socket? No, they got turned sideways playing football in a face mask. Look at those jacked up fingers. Those things look like they've been shot, but I don't know. It looks like something from E.T. Look at that old middle fingers all sideways and crooked, right? Class confidence. That's what we're looking for, okay? And let me finish you with this, guys. Not only football, but I want you to think about the word govs. I think we have a really cool name for a couple things. I thought about it all weekend. I started thinking, how can we use the word govs? Well, 2 ways. When we talk about football, 2 parts of football. There's the physical, mental side of football, and I'm going to start about the spiritual, the giving part of football. So here's what you do as govs. You give. As a governor, you give. You give back to others every day. That's what you do. As a governor, you own. That's on me. That's me. I made the mistake. Not you, not Coach Reeves, not the call. I made the mistake. I didn't get the right coverage. I messed up. I'm going to fix it. Give me the ball, Coach. I'm ready to make a change. I'm ready to do something to get this team back on. Okay? Because I made a mistake and I'm ready to fix it. Okay? Second thing, volunteer, service. Are you serving your fellow teammates? Because if you're not, that's not the right spirit. And then finally, support. Offer support where you can, right? Do you have a teammate? Ask yourself a question. How well do you really know your teammates? Do you know if you have any teammates on the field who are being raised by a grandfather or grandmother only? Do you know if we have any teammates on the field that have gone through addiction problems? Do we know if we have any teammates on the field whose mom may be sick with cancer? I mean, how well do we know our teammates? Right? And what can you do to support them? If you got a teammate you know that's poor and doesn't have any money and his family's struggling, how about making some bologna sandwiches and some peanut butter sandwiches and taking it to them? Say, hey, brother, I know times are tough, but hey, it's okay at my house. I'm going to hook you up. Or come stay the night at my house, man. Come stay out. My mom's going to make a big meal. Right? Or, hey, man, you know what? I got some old sneakers I don't need or old cleats. And you know who they are. You're watching the man's shoes. They shoes like they're about to fall apart. You're wearing a $230 pair of Jordans. But you got a friend of your team whose bottom of his shoes are coming out. Have you stopped for a second and said, hey, man, you got some cleats? No, man, we ain't got any money. Hey, I got you, buddy. I'll take care of you, right? Isn't that what it's about, though? Right, guys? Is that what it's about? That's what it's about, isn't it? Okay. And then on the football field, I want you to listen to these words. We're going to have grit. That means times are going to be tough, and we're going to fight through it. We're going to overcome adversity. And watch this. I'm all about boosting your ACT scores. So I'm going to throw a big word at you. Voracious. Who knows what that means? Anybody know what it means? Good, you don't. So we're going to make our ACT scores are going over today. It means a strong desire. I want a voracious appetite for the game of football. You cannot live without it. It means everything to you, right? And everything you do focuses on, hey, I want to be the best football player I can be. So I'm going to stay away from drugs and alcohol. I'm going to do great in school. I'm going to listen to my parents. I'm going to do all the things I need to do to make myself into a special player. Okay? And then finally is success. If you do all those things, you're going to be successful. Okay? You're going to be successful if you do all those things. All right? So always remember the word pride. Personal responsibility and daily effort. You take personal responsibility in everything you do every day. Okay? Don't blame somebody. Don't point fingers. Take ownership and then fix it. Okay? Guys, I'm super excited. You know, listen, they said it best. I know there's some people had probably had a lot better golden resumes than I do. I get it. I'm not foolish. I know that. But I know this. I love you guys. I love this school. I love these coaches. Right? And we're going to work our butts off to get better. Right? And here's the deal. Listen, I want everybody in this room to be with me. I'm talking about guys that don't even play football. If you're in here right now and you don't play football and you want to, come see me. I want anybody in this school that wants to play the game of football to come play football. Anybody. Period. I don't care if you played a day in your life. I saw a kid today that's 6'4", 225 pounds in the lunch line. I said, what grade you in? 11th grade. I said, what's your name? He told me. I said, come see me. We need to talk. Little guys sometimes turn out to be big guys, right? You understand that? I want everybody with me, but listen to me very carefully. And this is one of the most important things I want you all to know. I want every one of you guys with me. I want us to be a successful football program together. But one of the best coaches I ever coached with said, sometimes you have to have addition by subtraction. So we are going to put our expectation up here. And if some of us can't meet those expectations, you will not be a part of this program, because this program is bigger than me, it's bigger than you, it's bigger than any of us. You understand what I'm saying? This program is gone. How many coaches we had? 12. Right? It's bigger than all of us. You know, all these coaches left, but this school's still here. I'll be gone, this school will be here. It's bigger. You're going to leave, this school will be here. Right? But that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Okay, guys? Hey, I love you. I can't wait to get started with you, man. Right? And it starts really, well, another day. I don't have my Apple Watch. I was going to look. I don't know what time it is. 3:15. So we're going to get this thing started full. Now, if you want to lift weights, hey, I told Coach, you want to lift weights after school? I'll be down there. Come on down. You're welcome to get a workout in. We'll be there, okay? All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Cup. Thank you, guys. Love y'all.
Thank you, guys. Coach Reeves will be available to talk, get some pictures and whatnot, so have at it. Thank you.